What's up guys, Nepenthes here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. First things first guys, I want to thank you again for the incredible support you have given on this channel. I think we're at episode 240 now, so obviously only 120 odd days left before FIFA 18 is released. And we've got a topic discussion for FIFA 18 today, which is quite interesting. But I want to thank you guys for the incredible support that you have given on this channel, and if we could get a thumbs up on today's video, that would be amazing. Today I'm going to build a team. I'm actually going to build a quite common team that I usually use. I'm going to make a few small changes. There was a thread on Reddit about how I've been using strikers in midfield since FIFA 11, and on that thread there was a squad that I'd built where I had Pato at centre midfield. And in that thread, I was reading the comments and so on and so forth, and people were discussing a lot of ins and outs of some stuff. And one of the comments that came up, actually, let me get the specific comment. One of the comments that came up was, where is it? So the comment says, from Mantis Tobogan, he says, one of the main things holding him back, in my opinion, talking about having strikers in midfield. He says he's underestimating the defence stats importance, very amateur. And as per usual, you know, I am happy to take on criticisms and advice where it's constructive. And I thought to myself, you know what, maybe he's right. I personally don't believe that the defending stat is all that important in midfielders. I always try to have at least one midfielder that has high defence. But in general, I feel like the AI does such a good job defending, and I feel like the hitboxes that we talked about in a previous episode are changed so minimally by the defending stat that it doesn't make all that difference. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to build a team right here. I don't know if I'm going to take this team into the weekend league or not, but I definitely am going to try this team in Division 1 for the game today. So it is going to contain some of the regulars. We're going to have David De Gea. I'm going to change it up a little bit. We're going to throw Seamus Coleman in at right back instead of Hector Bellerin. I'm going to stick with the two defenders that I usually use in the centre back spots. I know it triggers people to me having Ogbonna on the right and Reed on the left. Just for today's video, I'll change it for you guys. So that's going to be my defence. All four defenders have Shadow on. All four of them have very, very high defending stats, especially after the Shadow card has been added on. So in that sense, and I know this isn't midfielders per se, but in that sense, these guys have very, very high defending. Up front, guys, we're going to be going for our left forwards at left forward and right forward. I do want to make somewhat of a change. I don't want to keep using the same players all the time, so we are going to use Depay today, along with Eden Hazard at left forward, and I'm just using Depay just to change it up a little bit. As I said to you in yesterday's episode, I really don't care about winning or losing in Division 1. Of course, I want to win. I try to win. I would always like to win. But in Division 1, and especially when we're trying experiments like we're trying right now, you know, a new formation, we're going to try some new custom tactics. We've got a few different players in the team here or there. I wanna, you know, I don't really want to care about the result. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to take some defensive-minded players. I was initially looking at who I should use. You know, obviously Gareth Barry here has less dribbling and less shooting than Fernandinho, but more defending and more passing, and he's taller with good work rates. So I'm actually going to, I was thinking about using Fernandinho. We've got a lot of games on him, but I was also sitting here looking at Nemanja Matic. Now, compared to Gareth Barry, Nemanja Matic has more pace, more dribbling, same shooting, way less passing, less defending, and way more physical. But this is about defending, right? So I'm going to take Gareth Barry, and I haven't played Gareth Barry in I don't know how long, but we're going to throw Gareth Barry into the team. And yeah, sure, he's got a lack of pace, but we're going to try and figure that out on the way. Then for midfielders, guys, I was going to use Emre Can and N'Golo Kante. I don't have like a better version of Kante, so instead what I'm going to use is Emre Can and Dele Alli. The reason why I go for Dele Alli is I have Shadow on both these centre midfielders, so Emre Can's pace and defending gets heightened massively. Dele Alli's defending still gets pushed up to a really strong position, and of course Gareth Barry has very good defending stats too. So this is that's the team right there, guys, and I think it's going to be an interesting team for sure. It's not your typical team. I've got some of the old favourites in there with Lukaku and Hazard and Chan, but I've got some not non-favourites, but some irregulars with Coleman, Depay, and Gareth Barry in there. And what I'm going to do, guys, I thought on the bench, I'm going to bring two very strong defensive-minded players. One being Nainggolan, even though he's quite short, we're going to throw him in there. And then I'm going to throw in as well, excuse me, I'm going to have to wipe my nose. I'm still so sick, by the way, guys, if you can't tell already. We're going to bring in that Dendoncker card, assuming I've still got him. Just because, where is he? Do I not? Oh, he's a cam for me, isn't he? Because I changed him up to fit him into a team for chemistry and then swapped him around. So we've got two very good defensive-minded players. Dendoncker specifically, medium-high, 6'2", 4-star weak foot. So if Gareth Barry is getting found out because of his lack of pace, we could just bring on Dendoncker, no problem at all. And then we're going to go for just some typicals on the bench, really. Some dudes that I like playing with and that are always nice. And I'm also going to put on the bench Trashford as well, I think, just because I wanna give him one last shot, I guess. One last chance before team of the season is out. I want to give him that one final opportunity to show his worth. So we'll throw him on the bench, and that is going to be the team and the bench right there. For custom tactics and player instructions, of course, we're going to stay back while attacking. I'll explain why I use this formation as well. Cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking. I want to stay back while attacking and stay back while attacking. Then I want drift wide, stay forwards, stay wide, get in behind, stay forward, stay wide, get in behind, and I want him to stay central, get in behind, and press back line. Now for custom tactics, one of the things that worked for me a lot back in the day that I changed, I don't really know why I changed, was reducing my pressure and aggression massively down to 30 and 30. When EA updated the effectiveness and pressure and aggression, I changed it ever since that day, and I don't know why I changed it, because I didn't give it a chance to see how it worked. So I'm going to take my pressure and aggression down, defensive line set to cover. This is the team we're going to use. How are we for fitness? We are going to have to throw a few fitness cards on. But the reason why I'm using this formation is because this is the formation that Principe used in regionals. So if it's good enough for him, it's surely good enough for me. And I don't subscribe to the notion that you should just copy people blindly, because this FIFA is so weird, it's so fickle, and one thing that works for one person may not work for another person. But what better time to try it than the day before Weekend League? Now, what I'm going to be doing this Weekend League, guys, as you guys well know, through Team of the Season, one of the main things that I want to do is try new teams, new players that I've never tried before, and stop caring for Weekend League. And that's still going to happen. That is still going to happen. But there was a thread on Reddit again. Oh, shocking! I know. Like Nepenthes taking some more things, some more ideas, some more tips off of Reddit. There was a thread on Reddit that a guy tracked his stats to a very detailed level, and I was blown away. Like, he literally marked down everything, like even in more depth than what FootWiz offer you to track. So this Weekend League, what I'm going to do is I am also going to track everything with every team that I do, and I'm good if I can get one. Like, I want to get like a strong BPL team or EPL team that I use as my go-between team, because I don't want to use fitness cards if possible. So I'm going to have like a strong EPL team, potentially this one, potentially not. We might build a new squad for hello, loading, what's going on? Can we get a game here? Yeah, potentially for failed to load squad. I don't know what that means. So basically, bottom line is, because specifically this Weekend League, it's only Team of the Season most consistent, and there's not that many players that I'm overly eager to purchase, spend coins on it and try out. Obviously, from next week's Team of the Season, that will change. But for this week's Team of the Season, it's going to be the most consistent. It's not going to be ideal. What is going on here? EA, hello. Hello. I literally just loaded up the game as well. Alright guys, I'm going to have to restart FIFA. I will be right back. Alright guys, we are back. We're in a game. This guy's got a 99 chem, 80 rated squad. That's a really low rated team for him to potentially be in Division 1. Basic chem styles on most of his players there as well. That's a weird one for me that he's I've matched up against him. There was an interesting thread on Reddit. Again, oh man, I spend too much time on Reddit. There was an interesting thread on Reddit about the level of players in Division 1 not actually being that high, which is quite interesting. But anyway, Zane Hanna, Zane, I always see you in the streams as well, dude. I appreciate you being a big supporter of the channel and the dream. Zane Hanna, I'm gonna have to try and read this. He says, hey Nep, I said this before and got 60+ likes, but I think you were doing a live commentary and didn't read the comments that day. Since FIFA 18 is coming out in a few months, I would assume that the beta will be out just after Team of the Season. Oh, hello Hazard, wakey. And he basically goes on to say, wait, I will actually read what he goes on to say. If I get an early goal and this guy rage quits, I'll play a second game. He says, I would assume the beta will be out after Team of the Season. Do you think EA will make this year's beta an open beta? In previous years, they've always made them closed and very rare to get. So basically, he's asking about the FIFA 18 beta, whether it'll be open or not, and you know, because it's as he says, it's rare to wait. Has my player just fallen over there? It's brilliant. I've been playing FIFA since FIFA 12 and have never gotten a chance to take place in the beta. Last year, my friend who only played since FIFA 15 and barely plays got to play the beta. I think if EA are trying to make this game a competitive game, they need to make their beta open so all the issues can get solved quicker. Other games like COD have open beta and it really helps improve the game. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been shocking to me for some years that it's not an open beta. It seems to, like, the beta of FIFA, they always seem to be a situation where it's more about just allowing people to play the game to build a bit of hype than actually figuring out any issues or anything like that. And I'm not saying that because I know that one way or the other, but that, like, it is weird that the idea of a beta should be, or a beta if you call it beta, but I call it a beta. The idea of a beta should be that you give it to the public so they can tell you the mistakes with the game, and you can fix them before the full game is released. That should be the idea behind it, right? That should be the that should be everything, really. Go on, Lukaku, that's all you, babe. Never mind. That should be the idea behind it. So it's crazy to me that the EA don't really offer it to the public, and when they do offer it out, a lot of it is people getting it because of who they know or whatever. You know, like some people will get it because they've got a friend that got it but doesn't play. Some people will get it because they're a pro player or a YouTuber or social media star. You know, I know like the FootWiz and Foothead will get like links to be able to play the beta, and they do it for the gain of themselves. Obviously, you can't post any social media information or anything like that when FIFA 18 beta is released or when other FIFA betas are released. But it doesn't stop them from getting a head start over other people. Like, I know for sure if I got the beta for FIFA 18, I would have an immediate head start over my peers just because I know what would primarily be in the game when the game came out, meaning that I could plan ahead. I could be a little bit more prepared for when the game is released, and that would give me an unfair advantage. So I know a lot of people use it to their advantage in that manner. The website's the same. You know, they're able to get their codes in place, and I don't disagree with that. I think they should have that. I think they should be able to prepare. I think it's very, you know, smart. It's smart from EA. It's smart from the websites. It's smart from the people that play the game in general. What I don't agree with is why it is a closed. Maybe is it closed because of servers? Is it closed because of some other reasons that we don't know? But I don't get, as you say, why so many. So who have we got here, Ray Chan? So many. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to think at the same time. So many other game modes or other games offer a open beta to the whole community. Like, you literally just have to download it from the store, and they get to play the game and learn the game and try the game out and find errors. And the only thing that EA do in terms of like bug fixes and stuff like that is they have a thread on the forums where you can go on, Barry. Yeah, thread on the forums where you can report any bugs, but people don't typically do that. Like, some will, sure, but people don't typically do that because they just want to play the game. They don't care about the bugs. They don't care about the fixes. And that's a problem anyway. But if it was an open beta, what you'd find is there would be a lot of just discussion in general about the issues and the errors, rather than some behind closed doors people that we do or don't know what they're doing or how they're doing it. And yeah, for me, it doesn't make sense that EA closed the beta. Literally the only thing that would make any sense is if they do it because of server errors, server issues, server capacity. In which case, just just have like a queuing system. So if you try and log on and the server's like full, you just have to wait. You have to wait your turn. And there's no problem with that. Hello, ref, is that foul? Yeah, there we go. Theo Hardy, he's posted his comment many times. I've seen it every time, and unfortunately I've never got around to answering it. I'll answer it in just a second, Theo. You do get a lot of comments in, Theo. I appreciate people like you that are constantly... Oh, God, that's a horrendous pass. Oh, God, this guy's got a really good counter opportunity here. Yeah, people like you that are just always around, dude. I appreciate you. Oh, he's done me there. He's just got to shoot that. He's just got to shoot that. Oh, that's Renato Sanchez. Big save there. He says, hey, what's the difference between acrobatic goalkeeper save type and traditional save type? I genuinely don't know. There's no literature on it. There's no literature on anything to do with goalkeepers. It's weird and it's a shame. We don't even know how chemistry styles affect goalkeepers, what effects they have, or anything like that. It's all pretty... oh, I did a drip. Oh, come on now. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm sure there is some literature that I just haven't read. So if anyone that's watching the video now, if you do know what the difference is between the traditional and the acrobatic goalkeeper styles are, feel free to let us know. Feel free to bring us in, because we don't know. Or at least I don't know, and I would love to know. And I'm sure it's something very, very minimalistic and simple. But either way, I love Lukaku, man. That's a clean goal. Either way, yeah. I honestly don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. Sam Wood says, "Is life unfair for everyone? Does that make it fair?" Boom. Just great logic. And on that, I posted a thread on Reddit today talking about scripting, handicap, and momentum. Because, for those of you that were on my stream a few weeks back, I took someone's gameplay and I kind of broke down the faults of the defending and stuff, and then showed them what was wrong and why they conceded goals when they assumed that it was, scripting and handicap and momentum, when in actual fact... it was more to do with the fact that they just made some horrendous defensive decisions. And I've been thinking about it for some time, wanting to get the gameplay of players and just give my opinion on the whole matter. I know some people believe in scripting, some people don't. And I'm not really looking to prove or disprove its existence. What I'm looking to do is just give my opinion on the things that people suggest are scripting or handicap or momentum. So I asked on Reddit for people just to ask questions and post videos and stuff like that. And one of the questions that came up was to do with bronze benching. Now, people believe, this is the belief system. People believe that if you have a high rated squad and you bring the rating of that squad down by putting bronze players on your bench, then you are less likely to get handicapped in a game. And what handicap is if you have a really high rated player, and you're up against a guy with a really low rated players, EA kind of balance the effect of the players so that people don't get smashed in game, right? That's the belief system. That's what people believe. That's what people believe bronze benching do. They believe it brings your team rating down so far to the fact that you don't get screwed from EA manipulating the stats. So there are a lot of questions that arise to that. First of all, what benefit do EA get from this? They already have a matchmaking tool in place, so what benefit do EA have by closing the gap? But also, as has been proven many times this year in FIFA, and has been discussed to depth in this year in FIFA, team and team rating and the players and such themselves are not nearly as important as the person controlling. In fact, so I would go as far to say the team itself is worth only 5 to 10% of the worth in game. So if you're good enough anyway, then it shouldn't matter if you bronze bench or have a high rated team, because if you're better than your opponent, you should just beat your opponent, right? And that's been proven. And it's also been proven that that there have been pro players that use 190s and 189s and such that go 40-0. I actually believe Vitaly Rocky, in the month where he got 160 wins out of 160, or actually he got 159 wins and 1 disconnect loss whilst he was winning, I believe that he had a 187 team that month. So if there is bronze benching, or if it is effective, if there is some kind of handicap, and he was able to beat it, that means everyone's able to beat it. So does it exist? Do you get what I mean? So, like in the exactly what Sam Wood said in his comment, if life is unfair for everyone, does that make it fair? If everyone's able to beat any kind of scripting, handicap, or momentum, does it even then really exist? Because, like, I don't know, that's the logic. So I ask you guys, with bronze benching, I tried bronze benching myself, one weekend league, and I had a worse weekend league than when I had the high rated teams. This game right here, this game that I'm playing right here, I don't know what rating my team is. I assure you it's quite high. It's probably a 188, maybe a 189. My opponent's team is very low rated. It's a 79 rated team. I'm beating him quite convincingly. So if handicap is in effect, why am I able to win this game? And if the answer is you're able to win this game because you're just better than your opponent, then doesn't that prove that bronze benching doesn't work, because skill is more important than anything else? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know, if bronze benching handicapped him to the point where my players couldn't do anything, then surely he would be beating me. And then the answer to that is, all it does is reduce your player's stats or improve his player stats to the point where it's more even. But if it's more even and you're still better than your opponent, it shouldn't matter. Isn't that correct? Isn't that true? That if it is more, if you come up against someone and you have identical teams, identical benches, identical custom tactics, and the player that is better would theoretically win because they're better, does it matter if you get handicapped? Because if you're better than your opponent, you're just better. And then if you say, but what if somebody really good bronze benches? Well, then if you're worse than your opponent, that also doesn't matter, because if you're worse than your opponent, you're worse than him anyway. So you're going to lose whether or not he's got a high rated team or a low rated team. It doesn't make a difference. That's my personal kind of perspective on bronze benching and the effects and the importance of it and what it actually means. He's actually got a good ball in there. But I would love to hear any kind of thought process or feedback or information that you guys have, because I find this topic, that I find the whole scripting, handicap, and momentum topic to be just genuinely fascinating. There is no benefit to EA, in my opinion, for them to script the game one way or another. People say, it's to stop casuals from getting pumped so that they don't, so that they spend more money on FIFA points. But why would that make them spend more money on FIFA points? And if you listen to my logic here, if you're a player that has never really played FIFA before, and you come onto the game, and then you get into that game, and you come up against the guy with a God squad, and you've got your trash team, and you smash that guy with a God squad because of any kind of handicap scripting or momentum, would you not agree that actually that would discourage people from buying FIFA points? Because what's the point? Why should I buy FIFA points to try and pack this brand new team of the season player when it's actually going to have a negative adverse effect on my results and not a positive effect on my results? So why buy Cristiano Ronaldo? Why buy Lionel Messi or team of the season Dybala when you can spend 10k on Musa, Martial, Matic, Smalling, and these are meta players, sure, but why buy all these incredible players when you can actually just go get yourself a normal team and have better results? So again, in my opinion, and it is just my opinion, but in my opinion, it's illogical, not logical, illogical to close the skill gap. Because if you lose to a high-rated team, if you get smashed by a high-rated team, you would then think, wow, those players destroyed me, because nobody has the mental opinion that they're worse than their opponent. Some people do, but generally speaking, nobody sits there and thinks, this guy was just better than me. And that's why he won. Most people sit there and think, teams like bronze bench and handicap and this and that, those are usually the problems, right? So if you came up against the guy of Team of the Year Ronaldo, it would be beneficial for EA to make the person with the good team play better, so that the person with the bad team would be more encouraged to buy FIFA points to get a better team. It doesn't make sense that they would try and close that skill gap. And in any sense, they have matchmaking in this game. In Divisions and in FUT Champions, they have matchmaking where they match you up against players of a similar standard. What that means, I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that the matchmaking system is the most effective or most efficient, but they have a matchmaking system. So they already have something to stop the people from getting smashed, wanting to leave the game. So why would they need to further reduce that kind of gap? For me, it doesn't make logical sense. I have many explanations and answers as to why people think it and why people feel it. But we've run out of time for today's video, so we don't have time to suggest that. That guy, by the way, was a very good player. I ended up getting a win. He scored that goal. I wonder what changes it. His team was interesting to me. His team was genuinely interesting because it wasn't great. Who did he bring on? He brought on Martial Batshuayi, and he brought off Blaszczykowski. So he changed formation as well. Didn't he start with a 4-3-3? And I think he brought on Al Moreno. He brought in at centre midfield. And he gave it a good game. I'm sure he wins Division 1 a lot. Or I'm sure he's in Division, winning high division games. But so I tried there, guys, a new formation. I put more defensive players in. I came up against a guy with a really low rated team, and I still conceded a goal. And that's where, in my opinion, if I had Costa, Kane and Dele Alli in there instead of Chan, Barry and Dele Alli, I think I still would have won the game. Obviously, I can't tell that for sure. I don't know that for certain. I can't unfortunately get the answer to that question or to that observation. But I personally believe that I would have still won that game. I don't think it would have made a difference. There wasn't a situation where I was like, oh my God, thank God Gareth Barry was there. My midfield was kind of bypassed quite a lot. But this is going to be the end of the video, guys. So if you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.